Hi there, my name is Richard Esmaty and I am the founder of Seeker Executive. Today we're going to go through a very brief video where we're going to talk about the difference between a recruiter and a headhunter. We get this question a lot of times. What is it that we do differently as a headhunter, and why should our clients use us rather than using a recruiter or go out there and advertise themselves? So what we're going to do is briefly look at 4 different areas. First, experience. The experience for a recruiter and a headhunter is totally different. An experienced recruiter will probably be someone who has been in the industry 2 to 3 years. They're considered as a highly experienced recruiter. A headhunter, you need to have at least close to 8 to 10 years of experience to even be considered as a headhunter. But not only that, as a headhunter, you also need to be someone who has been in that sector for at least 5 to 7 years, where you know all the names of the organizations, the key contacts, and you're able to map the market for your client so they get the best talent that's available at that time. Also, a headhunter is someone who does not advertise, and that's something we're going to talk about in process, but that's another key difference between a recruiter and a headhunter. Now, recruiters, unfortunately, majority of them, not all of them, rely heavily on advertisement. If you look at Seek right now, there are probably good 65% of the ads are ran by recruiters. Now, a headhunter, on the other end, will rarely advertise. They will work on passive candidates only. So if you're looking at advertising yourself, working with a headhunter works really well for you because you will get that competitive edge of finding all the passive candidates through a headhunter, whereas you're getting the active candidates yourself. So a recruiter, on the other hand, very likely will advertise and will compete with your ad that's already probably out there. So process, again, a headhunter is absolutely different. It is mapping the market, coming around with strategies, making a lot of cold calls, talking to their network, and then finding the right people, and then aligning that right person to the organization, and then setting up meetings to encourage both parties to have a conversation around the vacancy of the role that's available. Whereas a recruiter will take the role, advertise, get candidates, interview them, shortlist them, and then provide them the top 3 candidates to the clients. Now, this does work very well for roles such as accounting or other positions where there is a high skill, high volume candidates in the market. But when you're looking at roles that are specific, especially in sales, BDM, it is very difficult to get the right person at the right time through an ad. Quality is very important for a headhunter. A headhunter is scored on their success rate, and being very vertical, being in an industry where everyone knows you, it is very discouraging to get it wrong. And if you do get it wrong, it impacts your image as a headhunter. Then it's very difficult to have further conversations with passive candidates to get them to look at other opportunities. Whereas with recruiters, unfortunately, what we've seen in the past 10 years, most recruiters stay within the sector for 12 months to 2 years, and then they move on. And by doing so, they don't really make a lot of strong connections. However, they do take the top off the market, and as they try to penetrate further, they find it difficult, and then they go to another organization. So that's kind of where we get to the branding, and the branding is very important for a headhunter. So a headhunter doesn't only brand themselves, they brand you. So your organization, your company, the way you do business is very important for a headhunter to understand really well and polish it to a point so it is competitive in the market. For instance, if your PD is not up to scratch to what your competitors have, then a headhunter will advise you on how to improve it. Your branding, the role, how it is structured, Is that really something that attracts top talent? These are the consulting that you will get from a headhunter, and you can imply into your branding, which makes our job much easier to find you that top talent, but also to convert them. Again, a specific area where headhunters are very much being those people who go after passive candidates. Branding is very important for them. For recruiters, it's probably not as important. Again, this is just a bit of a generalization, because when you advertise, you always get candidates who are looking for a job anyway. And at that time of their career, they probably are not as picky. Especially through the current market environment, we find that it is even harder to convert passive candidates to take a role. Being a strong headhunter, it is our role, it's our job to make sure that we represent your role and your organization to best of its capability to attract that top talent. Now, this has been 6 minutes, I guess, of talking about what we do and what headhunters do and what recruiters do, what are the differences. Again, please don't get this that we don't believe in recruiters. We have dealt with top recruiters in the past and my previous organizations, and there are a small amount of them who do it exactly the way a headhunter does. But for a majority of them, unfortunately, it's highly reliant on the ad. And if you have advertised yourself, then it probably doesn't make sense to re-advertise that role. Thank you so much. Richard Esmaty here again from Seeker Group. Hope to hear from you soon, and our contact details are at the bottom should you wish to call us and discuss anything. Have a great week.